Imagine a life where people take your presence for granted, where your messages go unanswered, yet you are still the first to respond, where your time, energy and availability are assumed as if they are endless. Many of us live like this, without even realizing the cost. Today I want to speak to you about the power of not being constantly available, about reclaiming your time, and about restoring your energy so you can live a life of true purpose. Being always available is not kindness, it is not generosity, it is not a virtue, it is a habit that erodes your self-respect, drains your energy, and clouds your clarity. You see, when you are constantly at the beck and call of others, you are not living, you are reacting. You are letting the world dictate your rhythm, your mood, and your priorities. You are living someone else's life, and in the process, you forget your own. Think about it. How often have you said yes when your inner voice screamed no? How often have you cancelled your plans, ignored your needs, or pushed aside your goals because someone else needed something from you? This pattern is more than just inconvenience. It is a silent thief of your energy. It steals your focus, your peace, and even your identity. And yet, society praises it. It tells us, be available, be responsive, be accommodating. But there is a quiet, overlooked truth. The most powerful people are not always available. They protect their presence. They guard their time. They value their energy. When you stop being available, something extraordinary happens. You start setting boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to isolate yourself, they are gates to protect your energy. When you are selective about where you invest your time, you are choosing yourself. You are saying, I am worthy, my energy is sacred, my presence is valuable, and the world responds. Respect follows boundaries. Clarity follows intention. Purpose emerges when distraction is removed. But stopping availability is not simply about ignoring calls or not replying to messages. It is about understanding the value of your presence. Your energy is finite. Every time you give it away without intention, you deplete your reservoir. And when that reservoir runs low, you are left tired, frustrated, and disconnected from your true self. This is why I urge you, do not give away your energy freely, not because you are selfish, but because you are wise, because your life is meant for creation, not reaction. Now, let's address a common fear. What if they get upset? What if I lose friends or opportunities? Let me tell you something. Those who truly value you will respect your boundaries. Those who do not will expose themselves quickly. This is not rejection. It is clarity. It is a filtering process that allows the right people and the right opportunities to gravitate toward you. Imagine your life as a sacred garden. Every person, every commitment, every interaction is a seed. If you scatter your seeds carelessly, the garden becomes overgrown with weeds. But if you plant selectively, tend intentionally, and protect your space, the garden flourishes in abundance. There is also a deeper spiritual aspect to being less available. In every moment that you reclaim your attention, you return to yourself. You reconnect with your purpose, your creativity, your essence. You allow your mind to rest, to dream, to expand. Life is not meant to be a constant service to others. It is meant to be an experience of growth, of mastery, and of contribution that comes from a place of abundance, not depletion. Let me give you practical steps to implement this today. 1. Audit your availability. For 1 week, observe how you respond to messages, calls, and requests. Are you responding immediately out of habit? Are you giving your energy without intention? Awareness is the first step. 2. Set intentional boundaries. Decide when and how you will be available. Perhaps you only check messages twice a day, or set office hours for calls. Communicate these boundaries clearly. 3. Prioritize your energy. Not all requests are equal. Learn to distinguish between urgent, important, and trivial demands. Allocate your attention accordingly. 4. Practice saying no. Begin with small, low-risk situations. Notice how empowering it feels. No is not a rejection of people, it is a declaration of your values. 5. Reinvest your energy. Use the reclaimed time and focus to invest in your passions, your goals, and your well-being. Every moment you regain is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your life's purpose. Remember, being unavailable is not about neglect, it is about strategic presence. It is about showing up fully for what matters most and letting go of everything else. It is about reclaiming the power that was quietly slipping through your fingers. It is about living a life driven by intention, not obligation. I want you to reflect: who are you when you are not serving everyone else? Who do you become when your energy is preserved and focused? This is the version of yourself that the world needs, not scattered, not drained, but vibrant, powerful, and awake. So today, I challenge you: stop being constantly available. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. When you honor yourself, the world will honor you. When you guard your presence, your power multiplies, and when you reclaim your attention, life begins to unfold in ways you never imagined. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely, give it with intention, and watch as your life transforms. Because when you stop being available to everyone, you become available to the one person who truly matters: you. Many people believe that being constantly available is a virtue. They think that responding immediately, accommodating every request, and always putting others first is a measure of. But I am here to tell you a profound truth: availability without intention is a form of surrender, not service. When you are always at the disposal of others, you lose your power, your focus, and ultimately yourself. Life is an energy game. Every interaction, every conversation, every minute you give away carries a cost. Most people never calculate that cost. They give without measure, they give without intention, and they eventually wake up to a life that feels empty, chaotic, and misaligned. Being available without discernment is a silent drain on your spirit. It may seem harmless at first, but over time it erodes your clarity, exhausts your creativity, and diminishes your sense of self-worth. Think about this. When someone is constantly available, they are like water in a river, flowing, giving, bending to the world's needs. But even water, if poured endlessly, without pause, dries out the source. Your energy is like that spring. It is precious, finite, and sacred. If you allow it to flow without control, you will eventually run dry, leaving yourself weak, frustrated, and disconnected from your purpose. So what does it mean to stop being available? It does not mean to withdraw entirely. It does not mean to be rude, indifferent, or unkind. It means strategic presence. It means understanding the value of your time, attention, and energy, and giving it only where it is deserved, respected, and impactful. Let me explain why strategic presence is so powerful. First, it teaches people to value you. When your availability is limitless, people unconsciously take it for granted. They assume you will always be there, and as a result, they show less respect, less consideration, and sometimes even less gratitude. But when you cultivate a sense of selective presence, boundaries naturally arise. People begin to understand that your time is not to be wasted, that your energy is sacred, and that you are a person of value. Respect is drawn to boundaries, not to constant submission. Second, being selectively available creates space for focus. Focus is the ultimate resource in the modern world. Attention is more valuable than money, more valuable than fame, and more valuable than endless connections. When you are always responding to every message, every request, and every demand, your mind becomes fragmented. You cannot produce your best work. You cannot think clearly. You cannot live intentionally. Strategic presence allows you to reclaim your focus, channel your energy toward your goals, and create with full engagement. Third, stopping constant availability strengthens your self-worth. So often, we confuse being available with being loved or accepted. We fear that if we say no, People will leave us. A true connection is never about surrendering your energy to everyone. It is about aligning yourself with those who respect your boundaries and honor your presence. When you stop being constantly available, you send a powerful message to yourself and the world. I am valuable. My energy is important. My life is my own. That statement, spoken through action, has more power than any words you can say. Now, let us explore the emotional challenges of learning this art. Many people feel guilt when they stop being available. They worry about hurting others or being perceived as selfish. This guilt is the voice of old conditioning, the echo of years spent prioritizing everyone else above yourself. But remember, boundaries are not cruelty. They are love, love for yourself and love for the quality of your interactions. By protecting your energy, you ensure that when you do show up fully, authentically and powerfully. That is far more valuable than spreading yourself thin and leaving nothing of yourself behind. To implement this in your daily life, here are concrete steps. 1. Define your core priorities. Write down the top 3 areas where your energy should be invested: your health, your personal growth, your family, your work. These are the areas that deserve your undivided attention. 2. Audit your current availability. Observe how often you are responding out of habit or obligation. Track where your energy is being drained unnecessarily. Awareness is key to change. 3. Set clear boundaries. Establish specific times for communication, work, and social obligations. Communicate these boundaries politely but firmly. For example, you might decide, I respond to messages between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. only, or I will attend social gatherings twice a week. 4. Practice deliberate non-availability. Begin with small experiments. Delay a response by an hour or a day. Notice how it feels and how people respond. You will find that life continues and respect often increases. 5. Reinvest your energy wisely. Every hour you reclaim from unnecessary availability is an hour to invest in your passions, your health, your learning, and your growth. Strategic presence is meaningless without intentional reinvestment. There is also a profound spiritual element to this practice. In every moment you reclaim your presence, you connect with your essence, you allow your mind to rest, you create space for insight, intuition, and clarity. When you are constantly reacting, you are in a state of perpetual depletion. When you stop being available, you enter a state of creation. You become the architect of your own life, rather than a responder to someone else's agenda. Remember, being unavailable is not rejection, it is alignment. It is choosing to be present for what truly matters. It is honoring your life and your potential. The people, opportunities, and experiences that are meant for you will respect your boundaries. Those that are not will naturally fall away. This is not loss, it is refinement. It is the process of sculpting your life into a masterpiece, free from distractions, obligations, and unnecessary drains. Finally, reflect on this. Who are you when you are not at everyone's disposal? Who do you become when your energy is preserved and focused? This is the version of yourself that the world needs: strong, centered, and fully present. By learning to stop being constantly available, you reclaim your power, your clarity, and your peace. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop surviving and begin thriving. So today, make the choice. Begin the practice. Protect your presence. Value your energy. Cultivate strategic availability. Show up fully for what matters. And watch as your life transforms. Not because the world has changed, but because you have finally honored the most important person in your life. Many people spend their entire lives reacting to the demands of others. They live in a state of constant availability, always saying yes, always responding immediately, always prioritizing someone else's needs above their own. It is an exhausting way to live, and yet it has become normalized. We have been conditioned to believe that being available is proof of our worth, that our value is measured by how much we can give to everyone else. But this is a profound misunderstanding. True strength, true power, and true freedom come not from being endlessly available, but from mastering the art of selective presence. When you are constantly available, your energy is dispersed like water through a sieve. You give it away indiscriminately, leaving little for yourself. Your mind becomes cluttered with the noise of other people's demands. Your body and spirit become tired from responding to every call, message, or request. And over time, you lose sight of who you are and what truly matters. People who always make themselves available are often overlooked and undervalued. Others assume that their presence is guaranteed, and gratitude becomes scarce because availability is mistaken for obligation. You must understand that your time, attention, and energy are precious. They are the foundation of your life, the currency of your existence. If you give them away carelessly, you will live a life shaped by everyone else, not by your own intentions. Stopping availability is not an act of cruelty or selfishness. It is an act of wisdom and self-respect. It is the recognition that your energy is finite and that it must be protected to be used effectively. When you begin to stop being available to everyone, you create boundaries. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you. They are gates that protect the value of your presence. They teach people how to treat you, and they teach you how to respect yourself. When your availability is limited, people notice, they pay attention, they respect the time you give them. They realize that your attention is not automatic and that it must be earned. And in that process, something extraordinary happens. You start to attract people and opportunities that align with your energy and purpose. Many fear setting boundaries because they worry about rejection or conflict. They fear losing relationships, opportunities, or approval. This fear is natural, but it is also a trap. Living in constant fear of disapproval keeps you small and scattered. It forces you to respond to every demand, sacrificing your priorities, your peace, and your growth. But when you stop being available to everyone, you are not rejecting life. You are choosing to engage with life intentionally. You are deciding to give your energy where it matters and to protect it from depletion. You are saying to yourself, I am worthy of my own time. I am worthy of my own energy. I am worthy of my own life. The practice of selective presence requires awareness and courage. Begin by observing how you currently allocate your time and energy. Notice the patterns where you respond automatically, where you give without thought, where you sacrifice your own needs. Awareness is the first step. Once you see the truth, you can begin to take deliberate action. Start with small steps. Delay a response to a message, decline a minor request, or reserve time for yourself before attending to others. Notice the reactions of people around you. Often, you will find that the world does not end when you are unavailable. In fact, respect for your presence often increases because you are no longer scattering your energy on demands that do not deserve it. By protecting your presence, you are reclaiming your power. You are no longer a passive participant in the lives of others. You are a conscious creator of your own life. Every time you choose to say no, every time you prioritize your own energy, you are asserting your value. You are training yourself to honor your own needs before attending to the needs of others. This is not arrogance, it is mastery. Mastery of your mind, your energy, and your life. Being unavailable strategically also deepens the quality of your interactions. When you show up selectively, you show up fully. You are not distracted by obligations, exhaustion, or scattered attention. You are present, engaged, and intentional. People sense this energy. They feel your power, your focus, and your authenticity. You become magnetic not because you are constantly there, but because when you do appear, your presence carries weight. Your time and energy become precious, and that value transforms the way the world responds to you. Another profound benefit of stopping constant availability is the alignment with your purpose. Every moment of wasted energy is a moment not invested in your goals, your passions, and your growth. When you reclaim your attention from demands that do not serve you, you create space for creation, reflection, and progress. You begin to live life on your own terms. You begin to act from intention rather than obligation. Your goals become clearer, your focus sharper, and your productivity more impactful. Life begins to flow in alignment with your priorities rather than being dictated by the expectations of others. It is important to recognize that this practice is not permanent isolation. It is not withdrawal from life or community. It is strategic engagement. You choose when, how, and with whom you invest your presence. You protect your energy for what truly matters, while letting go of distractions that drain you. The more disciplined you become with your availability, the more freedom and clarity you experience. You are no longer a reactive participant in the lives of others. You are a proactive architect of your own existence. Understand this? Being selectively present is a spiritual practice. Every time you reclaim your attention, you return to yourself. You reconnect with your purpose, your creativity, and your inner peace. In a world of constant noise and distraction, this is not just important, it is essential. By choosing when to be available, you are choosing life on your own terms. You are choosing growth, clarity, and alignment over chaos, depletion, and distraction. Many people will resist this at first. They will test your boundaries, push against your limits, and question your choices. This is a natural part of the process. Respect is earned, not demanded. When you stand firm in your boundaries, you filter out what is unnecessary and protect what is essential. Life has a way of aligning with those who honor their own energy. Those who matter will respect your limits. Those who do not are revealing their true character, and you are spared the waste of your precious attention on them. To practice this, begin each day with intention. Decide where your energy will go, what interactions you will honor, and what demands you will decline. Make your availability purposeful. Treat your energy as sacred, because it is. Do not scatter it carelessly on obligations, distractions, or people who do not deserve it. Every moment of conscious presence is a gift to yourself, to your growth, and to the people and opportunities that truly matter. Remember that your life is not a service to others. It is an expression of your purpose, your potential, and your presence. By learning to stop being constantly available, you reclaim your power, you live intentionally, you invest in what matters, you create a life of respect, focus, and clarity. Every act of selective presence is a declaration of self-respect, a statement that your energy is not to be wasted, and a practice of mastery over your life. So today, make the choice. Protect your energy, honor your presence. Stop being available to everyone, be available to yourself, to your purpose, and to those who truly value and respect you. Life will respond to this clarity, this discipline, and this power. You will discover a freedom you have never known, a focus you have never experienced, and a presence that others will recognize and respect. This is the path of strength, clarity, and mastery. This is the way of those who live with intention, not obligation. This is the practice of strategic availability, and it begins with you. Too many people live their lives as if their presence belongs to everyone else. They respond immediately to every call, text, and request, thinking that availability is proof of value. But in truth, being always available is a form of surrender. It is giving away your power, your energy, and your peace without thought or intention. When you stop being constantly available, you begin to reclaim control over your life. You start to protect your energy and preserve your presence. You learn the art of selective engagement, where every moment you give is purposeful and meaningful, rather than reactive and draining. Life is not a collection of favors and obligations. It is an exercise in energy management. Every interaction requires energy, and energy is finite. When you respond immediately to every demand, you dilute your energy and fragment your focus, your attention becomes scattered, your priorities blur, and your sense of self diminishes. People who are constantly available often find themselves exhausted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from what truly matters. They give to everyone and everything, yet feel empty, underappreciated, and depleted. To stop being available is to begin valuing yourself in a way that aligns your life with purpose, not obligation. Setting boundaries is the first step. Boundaries are not walls to shut the world out, they are gates to protect your energy. They communicate to others that your time is valuable and your presence is sacred. When you stop being immediately available, people begin to notice. They begin to respect your space, your decisions, and your energy. They recognize that your attention is not automatic and that your presence carries weight. And when respect replaces expectation, relationships deepen, communication becomes more meaningful, and your life becomes clearer and more focused. Many people fear saying no because they worry about losing approval, love, or opportunity. This fear is natural, but it is also limiting. Living in constant fear of disapproval keeps you trapped in reactive patterns, constantly giving without consideration. True strength lies in conscious choice, in responding with awareness rather than obligation. Saying no is not rejection. It is a declaration of self-respect. It is a statement that your energy is not a commodity to be taken for granted. Every no you speak creates space for what truly matters, for relationships, work, and activities that align with your life's purpose. Being selectively available also sharpens focus. When you are no longer scattered across endless obligations, you reclaim attention for the things that matter most. Your mind is clear, your creativity flows, and your productivity increases. Focus is not simply the ability to concentrate, it is the ability to direct your energy intentionally. Every hour you reclaim from unnecessary availability is an hour invested in growth, purpose, and self-mastery. The practice of selective engagement transforms not only your time but your life, aligning your actions with your highest priorities. There is also a deeper spiritual dimension to this practice. When you are constantly available, you live in reaction. You are pulled in every direction by other people's needs, desires, and expectations. You are never fully present for yourself, for reflection, or for growth. When you stop being available, you return to yourself. You reconnect with your inner voice, your intuition, and your purpose. You create space for insight, clarity, and alignment. Life becomes less about responding and more about creating. You begin to live intentionally, choosing where to invest your energy and attention rather than being pulled into a cycle of endless reaction. Stopping constant availability is not about isolation, it is about discernment. It is about choosing where and when to invest your presence. Some relationships and opportunities are worthy of your energy, while others are not. By learning to be selective, you protect yourself from depletion and elevate the quality of your life. You begin to engage only with what contributes to your growth, clarity, and purpose. Everything else falls away naturally. Those who respect you will adapt to your boundaries, and those who do not will reveal themselves, saving you the energy and frustration of endless compromise. Implementing this practice requires conscious effort. Begin with observation. Track how often you respond out of habit rather than intention. Notice where your energy is being drained unnecessarily. Once you are aware, set small boundaries. Delay responses. Politely decline non-essential obligations and reserve time for yourself before attending to others. Over time, practice deliberate availability. Respond selectively, invest in interactions that matter, and protect your time for the pursuits that align with your purpose. Each step strengthens your sense of self, your respect for your energy, and your ability to live intentionally. There is also an emotional component to this transformation. When you stop being constantly available, you may encounter resistance from others. Some may become frustrated, impatient, or even upset. This is natural. People are accustomed to taking your energy for granted, but this resistance is not a reflection of your character. It is a reflection of their expectations. By maintaining your boundaries, you create clarity for both yourself and those around you. You demonstrate that your energy is not infinite and that your presence carries value. Over time, this fosters respect, mutual understanding, and stronger connections built on intention rather than assumption. Reclaiming your availability is also a practice in self-discipline. It requires patience, awareness, and courage to say no, to delay responses, and to protect your presence. Yet the rewards are immense. You gain clarity of mind, depth of focus, and a stronger sense of purpose. You live life as a creator rather than a responder. You invest in relationships and opportunities that truly matter, rather than spreading yourself thin across endless obligations. Your energy becomes a tool, not a resource to be exhausted. And in mastering your availability, you discover a freedom and power that few people ever experience. Finally, remember that your presence is your power. Every interaction you engage in carries your energy. When you are scattered, reactive, and constantly available, your energy is diluted. When you choose selectively, your energy becomes concentrated, powerful, and magnetic. People sense this power, they respond to it, they respect it. Life itself responds to it. By stopping constant availability, you reclaim your life, your purpose, and your presence. You step into a version of yourself that is strong, centered, and intentional. You stop being a passive participant in the lives of others and become an active creator of your own reality. Today, make the conscious choice to stop being constantly available, protect your energy, honor your time, and invest your presence with intention. Set boundaries, practice selective engagement, and reclaim the freedom that comes from focusing on what truly matters. Your life is not meant to be scattered across endless demands. It is meant to be lived intentionally, with clarity, purpose, and presence. By learning to stop being available to everyone, you begin to show up fully for yourself, your goals, and the people and opportunities that truly deserve your energy. This is the path of mastery, strength, and freedom, and it begins with a single conscious decision to honor your own presence above all else. Many people go through life feeling used, undervalued, or overlooked. They respond immediately to every demand. They say yes when their heart says no, and they make themselves available even when it costs their peace, clarity, and energy. Being constantly available has become a silent epidemic, disguised as kindness or responsibility. But the truth is, this habit drains your power and erodes your self-respect. To live fully, to live with clarity and purpose, you must learn the art of stopping availability. You must understand that your energy is not an endless resource and that giving it away indiscriminately is a betrayal of your own life. When you stop being constantly available, you are making a conscious choice to reclaim control. You are telling the world that your time, attention, and presence are precious. You are recognizing that your energy is finite and must be invested wisely. Every interaction, every message, every call you respond to carries a cost, and it is a cost that is often ignored. By being available without intention, you dilute your focus, fragment your attention, and weaken your ability to serve your purpose. Life is not about reacting to everyone's demands, it is about acting intentionally in alignment with your highest priorities. The first step to mastering this art is understanding that boundaries are not cruelty, they are clarity. Boundaries are the framework through which your energy is protected and your presence is respected. When you stop being available to everyone, you create these boundaries, you teach people how to treat you. You teach yourself how to value your own energy. When people realize that your presence is not automatic, they begin to appreciate it, respect it, and recognize its importance. Availability, when given indiscriminately, often breeds disrespect. Strategic presence, when exercised deliberately, attracts respect and strengthens the quality of your relationships. Many people fear that setting boundaries will lead to rejection, conflict, or loss. This fear is natural, but it is also a limiting force. When you are constantly available out of fear, you are not living, you are reacting. You are allowing the expectations of others to shape your life, your decisions, and your sense of self-worth. True freedom comes from conscious choice. Every time you decide to say no, delay a response, or reserve your attention for what truly matters, you are asserting your value. You are reclaiming your power. You are telling yourself, I am worthy of my energy. I am worthy of my focus. I am worthy of my life. Stopping availability also enhances your focus and productivity. When your energy is scattered across endless obligations, your mind becomes fragmented. You cannot think deeply, create effectively, or act intentionally. By reclaiming your attention, you create space for clarity, creativity, and purpose. Every moment you save from unnecessary availability can be invested in growth, learning, and the pursuit of your goals. This is not selfishness, it is mastery. It is the ability to direct your life according to intention rather than reaction. There is a profound spiritual dimension to this practice. Being constantly available keeps you in a state of reaction, where your energy is consumed by the demands, expectations, and dramas of others. When you stop being available, you return to yourself. You reconnect with your inner voice, your intuition, and your purpose. You create space for reflection, insight, and growth. Life becomes less about obligation and more about creation. You begin to live intentionally rather than being pulled into the lives and agendas of everyone around you. Selective availability is not about isolation, it is about discernment. It is about choosing where your energy will be invested and where it will not. Some relationships and opportunities deserve your full attention, others do not. By exercising discernment, you protect yourself from depletion and elevate the quality of your life. Life naturally aligns with those who honor their energy. Those who respect your boundaries remain, and those who do not are filtered out. This process is not rejection, it is refinement. It is the cultivation of a life that supports your growth, focus, and purpose. To practice this, start by observing your current patterns of availability. Notice how often you respond out of habit, obligation, or fear of disapproval. Notice the ways in which your energy is being drained unnecessarily. Once you are aware, begin small, delay responses to non-urgent requests, politely decline minor obligations, and set aside time each day to honor yourself before attending to others. Each small act of selective presence reinforces your boundaries, strengthens your self-respect, and cultivates clarity in your life. Resistance from others is inevitable. People are accustomed to your constant availability. Some will feel frustrated or upset when you assert your boundaries. This is not a reflection of your value, it is a reflection of their expectations. By maintaining your boundaries, you create clarity and teach others how to engage with you respectfully. Over time, this fosters deeper, more meaningful connections and allows you to invest your energy in relationships and activities that truly align with your purpose. The discipline of stopping availability requires patience, courage, and awareness. It requires you to say no when your heart says no, to delay responses when your attention is needed elsewhere, and to invest your energy with intention. The rewards, however, are immeasurable. You gain clarity of mind, strength of focus, and depth of purpose. You become a creator rather than a responder. You begin to live life according to your own design rather than reacting to the endless demands of others. Your presence is your power. Every interaction carries your energy. When you are constantly available, that energy is diluted. When you are selectively present, your energy becomes concentrated and magnetic. People sense this power. They respect it. Life responds to it. By stopping constant availability, you reclaim control over your life, your focus, and your energy. You step into a version of yourself that is strong, centered, and intentional. You stop being a passive participant in the lives of others and become an active creator of your reality. Today, make the choice to stop being constantly available. Protect your energy, honor your time, and invest your presence with intention. Set boundaries, practice selective engagement, and reclaim the freedom that comes from focusing on what truly matters. Your life is not meant to be scattered across endless obligations. It is meant to be lived intentionally with clarity, purpose, and presence. By learning to stop being available to everyone, you show up fully for yourself, your goals, and the people and opportunities that truly deserve your energy. This is the path of mastery, strength, and freedom, and it begins with the conscious decision to honor your own presence above all else.